Good morning, gorgeous. Today is a beautiful day. I am so excited because I was racking my brain for the longest time how to bring aerial back into the mix. I am called the aerial piper, but being able to train and do those kinds of things has been relatively difficult. But I'm very fortunate in the fact that I have multiple different friends that have different studios or apparatuses, and things are starting to open up for open times again. And there's always something that I've wanted to do and wanted to learn because I own one, but didn't actually ever really try and do it, which is Tippy Lyra. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, a lyra is a giant metal hoop. Usually it's about 36 inches, but it ranges depending on what size you get. And it's exactly what it sounds like, a basically steel hula hoop that's usually wrapped in some sort of tape that you dance in. You do aerial tricks in. A Tippy Lyra is rigged a little bit differently than a normal lyra. A normal lyra is actually rigged, connected to the ceiling, usually from what's called a point. It's like a tab. Wait, hold on one second. Okay, this is Steve. Steve is my Tippy Lyra, which means he can actually be rigged as a single point, double point, or exactly what he's called, Tippy. If you look, he has no tab, so it looks like a hula hoop. Like if you pick this up, you might think that it was made of plastic or like heavy plastic, and then you'd be really surprised because he weighs like 15 pounds. But he has no tabs. He has no like automatic anchors. You'd actually have to rig it a certain way without like any hardware. You'd actually have to use like a span set to do so. But when you rig it as a Tippy, you actually use span sets and attach it catty corner to each other so that the hoop actually hangs like this, so that it will tip up and down. Now this is completely different than how a normal lyra hangs, which actually, okay, this is Peggy. Yes, Peggy and Steve. If you know, you know. Peggy is a single tab, or a single point lyra, meaning that you would normally rig her with a carabiner and then a span set, and then you would rig it properly to whatever base. Please don't rig from a tree. That's my PSA. So this hangs vertically. So just like you would see in a normal lyra, people are above the bar, below the bar, on the span set, etc. But howdy, Steve over here can be rigged technically as a single point, hanging vertically, as a double point, hanging with two span sets connecting at the top, usually with a spacer, so that you can do some different tricks, or how he's meant to be rigged, a Tippy Lyra. But this completely changes the dynamic of the lyra because it's just hanging horizontally. So every time you would go to the top to do a trick, the lyra will tip, or it'll tip the other way, which can be kind of scary because it literally could whack you in the face. But it's something that I've literally played with once for about 5 minutes, and actually, Steve has a very special place in my heart because he was the first gift that Jim ever bought me. But I'm really excited because I'm basically challenging myself to try this apparatus for the first time after doing aerial for 6+ years and get through a sequence and perform, I'm gonna say that with a grain of salt, this sequence for you by the end of my training session, which will be about an hour and a half. And I will even put on the outfit and everything. So I'm super excited to see how this goes. Hopefully I don't epically fail. Let me know what you think, or don't. Don't kill my dreams. I never said I was good. I just said I would do it. It doesn't have to be poetry. It just has to be done. Anyway, let's get on with it. Hi guys, I am here with my friend Noelle and Isis. He's back over there, and and we are going to see how this goes.
We're gonna tippy hoop for an hour. It's gonna be great.
It's either gonna be great or it's gonna suck. We're gonna find out. And that right there was the last moment that I felt or seemed at all graceful. You just witnessed it, so you can fast forward and get it if you want. Tippy Lyra definitely had me on my toes. I couldn't get used to the balance of it, and I'm not good with balance to begin with. But the hardest thing to remember was to watch your head. Trust me,
like right there. I definitely learned it later. I actually did take a little bit of a bonk on the head, but it was kind of fun to mess with momentum. I'm not a big momentum gal. Right here you can see me just idolizing Noelle and her epic skills and wishing I was that graceful. You can definitely see that I am trying to figure out the whole balance situation. I really wish we'd come back to this move because I thought it was so pretty in the hoop. And I kind of did this fun like angel knee drop, which reminded me a lot of trap. Basically, I try and tackle everything thinking about it like trap. Getting used to the momentum of it was definitely the biggest difficulty involved. Trying to make things pretty and get up in the lines was also a little bit of a difficulty. Basically, I'm just trying to copy Noelle here. And it really, I got the strugs. And I don't have splits, so, just pretend like I'm good. I swear I'm actually better than I'm appearing. But I found this really fun and really challenging because there are a few apparatuses I've never tried. Now right here, I don't know if you saw it, boop, right there, close up, boop. This is why you really need to watch your head, make sure you have a spotter, make sure you have a crash mat, and don't try this at home. I've been doing aerial for over 6 years, and I have actually tried Tippy before. Noelle has been doing Lyra forever as well, and it's definitely an adventure to try it and just to get used to it. But none of the moves I was doing were actually out of the realm of possibility, and I still whacked myself in the head. Good news is I didn't whack myself too hard, so I was still able to continue. But we're really trying to build a sequence at this point while I'm still getting used to it. It takes longer than an hour, obviously. The good news is that being in the straps, you really get to find a little bit more stabilization and balance. And so I really wanted to utilize that. Trying to build a sequence when you have such a small basis of knowledge was awesome. However, there are always things that you're going to have to get used to. Like, for example, right here, I go into my V-up, but because I had tried to wrap my legs, my hoop kept flicking over to the side. Basically, I'd created slack on one side of the point, which caused the hoop to tilt whenever I put pressure on that point. It was something that we were able to fix once I came down before our little mini performance, but it was definitely something that it kept happening, so it was really funny. And furthermore, I apologize for the performance. You're about to see. I obviously needed longer than an hour to an hour and a half to really get used to it. I will say that you can kind of stretch any sequence out with some poses and doing everything with intention. However, I always look awkward, so this is no different. And now I just look awkward in costume. But, for your enjoyment, I present my 1 hour Tippy Lyra performance. Enjoy.
Weather outside is feeling quite low. You put me apart and there's no letting go. You don't even try. Do you want me to lose? I know you can't speak up. Oh, by the way, I keep giving you all my love. Gotta feel something spark when we touch. Oh, but there's nothing. I'm just a fool. 'Cause I know. watch me burn. I know